Hey Nick, how are you?
Hey, nice to meet you. How are you, Daniel?
Good. Sorry for getting you up early.
That's all right. Yeah, that's okay.
Stop this fire a little bit. Stop the smoke a little bit. What's your name?
I'm Daniel Chechen, Product Development Manager. We're just back in Pittwater at the moment, by the water, sitting around the campfire, having a couple of beers and just talking about the fun for the day.
It all really didn't start to plan, did it? You found us sleeping at the boat ramp this morning. What happened? Why the tardiness?
Oh mate, I know. We said meet us at the boat ramp at 4:30 and we had a bit of a snooze in. The servo was still closed until like 5:10 until we could get to ice. So we turned up with you guys sleeping on your Pelican boxes.
So yeah, rocky start, but from there it was all up. It's 9:45. We're over the shelf. What happens next?
Yeah, so we found some good patches of bait. They appeared to be moving. They weren't sort of sitting on any structure or holding or anything like that. And so we marked a heap and kept circling back and zigzagging and doing the figure eights. Decided to pull the lures in, try and jig up some liveys and sort of slow troll some liveys around. That was unsuccessful. The bait just kept moving and it ended up going really deep, 150, 200 meters deep. So we went, nah, let's pull the pin on that. Our backup plan was to go up to the canyons and do a deep drop. Let's get the lures back in the water and we'll head up there. I think it was about 30 seconds after we put those lures in the water, the long rigger sort of popped and we were hooked up to a striped marlin, which I thought was a small one initially, but he put up a good account for himself, definitely. First fish on the boat, first fish for the year, and first marlin run, so pretty stoked with it. I think we were on the fish for about 35, 45 minutes, something like that. Got it to the boat, I was surprised. It's a little bit bigger than I thought. I thought it was a sort of 50, 60 kilo mark, but I think sort of that 70, 80, 90, probably 80 kilos mark. Yeah, it was a good sized fish. We decided I usually release all the marlin, first for the boat, first for the year. Decided to keep this one. So we brought the fish on board, dispatched it, got it into the fish bag, got it on ice. So it's going to be primo. We'll get some of it on the smoker tonight, on the fire, on the coals, on the smoker, and yeah, sort of share that around. There's plenty to go around. There's plenty of people that we know that we can share it with, so none will go to waste.
Yep, that was an epic battle, mate. Well done on landing it. So, what was your last boat?
So the last boat that I had was a 5.6 metre centre console, Australian Master Marine, with a 115 Yamaha on the back.
Why did you decide to upgrade from the AMM?
Yeah, so I guess I had the centre console, very versatile boat, good for inshore fishing, but I was sort of transitioning to more that game fishing style stuff. I love the excitement of it, and sort of going out beyond the shelf in the centre console, you get wet and you got to deal with the weather and all that sort of stuff. I started to look at sort of an upgrade to see what I could do, something a bit more comfortable, and yeah, ended up landing on the Stabby.
What model Stabby are we looking at here?
So I've got a 2400 Super Cab. It's got a 250 Yamaha on the back.
Why drop for the 24?
Yeah, good question. I was originally looking at the 2100, and I went over to Webb Marine, and they sort of ran me through the 2100. I saw the 2400 sitting next to it. It just caught my eye, and I just sort of had to have it. I took my missus down there to see the boats, and she got in the 2400, and she said, "Don't worry about the 2100. You need to have the 2400." So that sort of sold it for me.
Nice. How involved were you in the build of this 2400?
Yeah, so I was pretty heavily involved, to be honest. I did a lot of research. I was looking at various different boats prior, so fiberglass, aluminium. I ended up landing on the aluminium just for the fact that I did do a lot of traveling. I chased the fish, so I wanted to get the biggest boat I could and still have it on the road, still be able to tow around legally and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I sort of maxed out at the 2400. I was pretty picky with a lot of the fit out and those sorts of things. So basically stripped down the boat build as much as I could and then sort of customized it as much as I could as well. So sort of got the exploding fish rod holders. I've got the double stack rocket launchers up the top on the hard top, which gives me sort of like 17 rod holders. And yeah, so I sort of wanted to build my ultimate boat, and the guys at Stabby and Webb sort of helped me to do that.
Come on, you didn't even mention the best customisation in that boat of all.
The pie oven.
Tell me about the Yami on the back.
Yeah, so I've got the new Yami DES 250. It's like it's a new 2021 model, developed from that 425 engine. It's digital integrated steering. I've got stage 2 Helmmaster, so I didn't go full joystick control. I just personally didn't think I'd get the benefits out of the joystick with single engine. A lot of the fishing I do, game fishing, deep dropping, snapper fishing, all that sort of stuff, I don't need the spot lock and the joystick to sort of manipulate me around and finesse me around. So yeah, just went with stage 2, autopilot kit, digital steering, and it is bloody awesome, I tell you. Yeah, it's extremely accurate in terms of the GPS and the autopilot. The steering is just phenomenal. It's like floating on a cloud sort of thing.
I reckon that's some of the tightest turns I've seen a Stabbycraft do, but just before. And I reckon it probably comes down to that power steering, hey?
I actually looked down and I was sort of doing 22 knots and I was full hooking 180-degree turns and stuff like that. I was quite surprised. It's like a go-kart on the water, it really is. And for such a big boat, I was extremely impressed with how it manoeuvred in the water. It's probably the hardest I've pushed it so far.
Talk me through your range based on your fuel tank size and the economy.
It's a 300-litre tank. I get about so on average it's about 1.1, 1.2 kilometres a litre. That's doing a full trip out to the shelf and back. So trolling, I get sort of 1.4, 1.5 kilometres a litre. Sitting around that 22, 24 knot range. Goes down to about 1.1, 1.2, which is really good. Trolling probably goes to 1.1 as well, so it could be improved, but a lot of the fishing I do, I have to travel long distances to get to the grounds that I want to fish, so I wasn't really bothered about that. I did a big trip, I think it was about 160 nautical miles, and we used 220 litres, so it's pretty good. I've spoken to other guys with different props, same boat, different model motor, and they're getting a lot worse economy, so I think Yami stepped it up there for sure with the new model.
Electronics. There is some pretty sweet Simrad kit in this boat.
Yeah, there is, yeah. So I got the NSS Evo 3S, 16 inch, fits perfectly into the dash. I sort of upgraded from Lowrance HDS 10. So the 16 inch screen is just like a massive plasma screen in your home when that comes out. So yeah, I'm extremely impressed with it. I've got a Halo 20 Plus radar on it as well. I run the S50-100 module with, I've got a transom mount transducer, a 275L HW. The Simrads are really easy to set up as well. I mean, I think I said this to you guys today, it's like the iPhones of the sounder or sonar world. It's just easy, sort of click and play, and you can sort of work your settings out pretty quickly. And I've got it working really well. I'm really happy with it for a transom mount transducer. If I had my time again, I'd probably go a through hole. I was a bit afraid of cutting a hole in an aluminium boat and getting leaks and those sorts of things, but I wouldn't change it. I love it the way it is and getting really good readings, so happy. Things that make the boat really easy to use. So I got the Kraken outrigger bases, really easy to deploy, really easy to bring back up. I've got the precision carbon fibre poles. I think I've got 18 or 20 foot, I think they're 20 foot poles. Really, really light, really long, but awesome. I love them. Extremely strong. And then as I go down to the rod holders, I've got the Exploding Fish rod holders, so they're the 360-degree rod holders. For the types of fishing I do, game fishing, snapper fishing, a lot of deep dropping, just changing that angle of that rod holder just makes it so much easier. What else we got? We've got the deck armor, obviously. We've got the pie oven. I think the JL audio system, I love that. So I've got the MM100 and I've got 4 M6 speakers. Other party mode stuff, I've got the underwater lights from AEGO Illumination. So they're RGB remote controlled lights. Probably about it, really.
What do you love most about game fishing?
I think it is the fact that you can go out there, you can disconnect from the world. So obviously I work in the tech industry, I'm always connected to phones and laptops and everything, and I'm available 24/7. It's just that disconnection from busy Sydney life, getting out on the water with your mates, not having to think about anything at all. I've always been drawn to the water, so I find it very therapeutic. But at the same time, as I said, it's relaxing, but when you do hook that fish up, it's just that adrenaline rush. It's nothing like it. It's like, I've done running of the bulls and jumped out of a plane and stuff like that. I'd sort of put it in alignment with that. Like, you just get that massive rush of adrenaline when you hook up a fish, and everything's just frantic for a while. It's short-lived, like everything settles down pretty quickly, but just that high you get, I just love it. I love the being able to see the fish, like raising fish, being able to see them come up on sounders, being able to raise fish and see the bite, see the explosion of water and all that sort of stuff as well. Listening to that line peel off the Tiagras is just insane. I love that. I should have that as my ringtone. I just love it, yeah. But yeah, that's sort of drawn me to game fishing. That's what it's all about.
That bait was probably moving because I was getting changed. Yeah. I got some paper towel trying to just fucking.
Just wash them down.
They'll go, won't they? They'll go out the field.
They're sea lice, aren't they?
Fucking hundreds of them. Yeah, have a go.